Tonight, the state is ramping up efforts to prepare for coronavirus. The governor has activated a coronavirus task force.
Now, let's be very clear. This is a precaution. Governor Steve Bullock says there are no known cases of coronavirus here. This will just help the state agencies prepare to respond. He says the state is closely monitoring the situation and taking steps to prepare and aggressively respond.
This is a multi-agency task force that will coordinate public health response and help organize communication between state, federal, and local partners. Right now, the Department of Public Health and Human Services is working with local public health to monitor 25 Montanans who recently returned from mainland China. The idea is to catch signs of the illness at the earliest possible time and ensure appropriate care and precautions are taken to prevent spread while testing is performed. The State Health Lab is now able to test for the virus after receiving about 200 testing kits from the CDC. Hospitals, local public health officials, and others will be communicating if it's determined someone needs to be tested.
Plan, don't panic. And I think that's the biggest thing. Uncertainty brings a lot of anxiety. That's just human nature. And I think the more we can sit down, whether it be with your organization or your individual family, and think things through and say, you know, if this happens, what would we do? If this happens, what would we do? And if there's holes in that, this is the time that you can kind of start to review and figure out how you get those answers.
Health leaders stress the importance of using the same preventive measures they recommend against colds and the flu. Washing your hands regularly, covering coughs and sneezes, avoiding touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, and cleaning and disinfecting surfaces, and staying away from other people if you get sick. As the world continues to monitor the spread of coronavirus, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are making several recommendations regarding travel into and out of the country.
As MTN's Matt Holzappel tells us, is business as usual here in Great Falls.
Until further notice, it's business as usual here at Great Falls International Airport. Nobody has come in showing symptoms of coronavirus yet, and there are plans as to what to do if someone did come in.
We do have procedures in place where the plane is set aside and we contact the medical personnel we need. And in those cases where there might be something infectious, then obviously City County Health would be notified, and we'd have an integrated command structure put in place to make sure we're all coordinating.
Currently, the CDC has sorted the travel risk as it pertains to the virus by country. 6 countries have been given some level of recommended travel restriction. Those countries are Hong Kong, Japan, Italy, South Korea, Iran, and China, with Iran and China having the most restrictions. As for travel to and from Great Falls, John says there's no need to cancel your plans.
We've not been notified by the City County Health Department or really anyone in the region that there's anything to be concerned about. The airlines have canceled flights into China, South Korea, and Italy, but as far as we know, the airlines currently don't have any plans to do any further cancellations, and obviously none of those direct flights affect us at all.
Aside from avoiding non-essential travel to the affected countries, the main advice from the CDC? Simply wash your hands and stay home if you feel sick.
As of right now, there are no plans to cancel any flights into or out of Great Falls, and John tells me if there were plans, those would come from the airlines, not the airport. In Great Falls, Matt Holzappel, MTN News.
And the airport says if you do have any concerns about your travel plans, you should contact your airline.